It's grown bigger and better each year. I mean, the quality of the Asian Awards is spectacular now. It's great, and to have gone 6 seasons, it's amazing.
Well, I think it has a big impact on Britain. If you go to other places like Manchester, Leeds, Bristol, I've just come from Bristol, you'll see the community is quite vibrant all over the United Kingdom. It is our best selling point for investment and for enterprise, and that's why I'm delighted to be here to celebrate these awards.
I think as the Asian Awards grow, it's only going to add impact, add value. People are going to see it, they're going to take notice, they're going to see that there are really important people, not only in the Asian community but also in the British community, And once that transcends, once that crosses over, it's going to make big waves for the Asian community.
Well, this is the thing. This is why I think this is so good, because how the Oscars felt to me, it was very much like they're talking about diversity, but it's just black and white, and there's such a range in the middle. I mean, there was also a little bit of controversy when they brought on a few Asians and made sort of jokes about it, and I know that was very sort of controversial for the Oscars. So I think this is also us going, do you know what? Its diversity includes Asians, and there's so much in the middle. So it's not just a case of like black and white and polar opposites.
Well, I want to be a mayor for all Londoners. London is the greatest city in the world. The London promise has been you work hard, you get a helping hand, you can achieve anything. Unfortunately now, there are too many Londoners not getting the helping hand. I want to be that helping hand and a mayor for all Londoners.
More women, more people, more, gays, women, straight, whatever, brown skin, white skin, yellow skin. Diversity of thought will bring those people through. That's what we need.
There's a long way to go, definitely. If it's still a discussion, then we haven't done our job.
It's very difficult. I think I sort of started about 10 years ago, and at that point sort of Asians they're very stereotypical, and I think all the different races have had that, all the different ethnicity groups, but it was things like I would just be reading scripts and it'd be like Chinese takeaways and immigration, like visa, and sort of like waitress roles, and it was like, do you not realize that you're really sectioning a massive group and just going, this is a massive stereotype, there's so much more that we do. And I have seen it develop over the years, and I've been very lucky to play roles like a doctor, a detective, and things like that without being sort of, too stereotypical. So I think there is progress. It's slow, but it's happening. I think it's a kind of like a whole thing, like because Asians are moving forward in sort of, all kinds of the different aspects of art and politics, that, it's just sort of like follows on, and it's just a natural progression. So I don't think there's been a massive turning point. I think people are just finally waking up and going, oh wow, actually, you know what, they're just people and they can do stuff and they do good stuff. And that's why this event is so good. It's so important to keep reinforcing the fact that, we're people who do good work, and it's good to celebrate that.
It's very difficult to say. I was new to the industry, so I didn't really have a long period of working through it. So I got very, very lucky. But the challenges, I think, are the same, which is one of perception. I think that people always perceive that they know what you can do. Now, whether that's me as an actor, or Asians as a group, or British Asians, or any subgroup, there's a presumption of what their abilities are, and 99% of the time the abilities are much greater. Those individuals haven't had a chance to express them. So in that sense it was pretty similar. Goodness Gracious Me was kind of like seen as a very niche program, but the fact that it became a mainstream program was not a surprise to us, because we just thought people would get it, but it was a surprise to those people who were commissioning it. And the same with the Kumars. I mean, Kumars was shown on 4 out of 5 continents. I mean, it was a success around the world. And again, I think that initially the thought was that it was, a small local program. But people ultimately respond to emotion and family and all the emotional traits that all of us have. And I think all of our stories tap into those. So I think the challenges are still ones of perception. I think that, initially, the joke that we used to have was that if it was an Asian sort of role, then there'd be an arranged marriage connected with it, or your parents don't let you out, or you run the shop, or something like that. And I think then they moved to Asians being social workers and being doctors and occasionally solicitors. The next step would be to have Asians being protagonists, so people who actually kind of push the story, whether those are baddies or goodies or whatever. It's somebody a bit more central to the storyline. And that has happened slowly. I think that there are a number of really good actors now who have kind of moved into film, and ultimately these things only change when you have producers and commissioners commissioning those kinds of stories. And all the discussions about diversity, that's where those discussions are hopefully leading.
I think if you look around the world, anywhere in the world, it's a diverse world that we're living in. And it's nice to be in a position where I can, I guess, promote that or be, not that I'm a spokesperson for Asian diversity, but I think it's a wonderful time we're living in. There's a lot more TV roles, there's a lot more writing roles, there's a lot more directors and producers and artists that are coming from these communities, and it's really wonderful to be one of those who gets to do it for a living. You gotta work hard. Everyone thinks you wake up one morning and you can do a few expressions and you're going to become an actor, and I just never understood that. Like, I studied for 7 years. I got my bachelor's in acting, I got my master's in acting. I came to Royal Shakespeare Company, did plays. Like, you have to train. Musicians train, gymnasts train, dancers train, but actors don't train, and I've never understood that. So you got to get the training, and you got to study hard. You got to work like there's no tomorrow, because anytime you slack off, someone else is working harder. If you think about that stuff, you're not doing the work. Then you're just getting caught in a rhetoric of like, I didn't get that because I'm Asian. You know what I mean? That's a dangerous path to go down. I just wake up and I stay positive and I work as hard as I can. If I don't get a role, it's not because of how I look. It's probably because I wasn't right for the role. Maybe I messed up the audition, or I didn't work as hard as I did. So I always go back to myself.
Hi, I'm Lizzie Cundy, and did you know that Snakes and Ladders is my favourite game? But it also, in India, was a game to do with morals. Did you know that? That's why I like it.
Well, I'm here to support my really great friend, Naughty Boy. He's up for an award tonight, so I was just really honoured to be asked to come and present this to him. So yeah, that's why I'm here, to show support, really.
I just wanted to be known for making good music first. I didn't want to be known as the brown guy or the Asian guy, because I feel like that's like I didn't want to fly that flag until I had success. Then I've got reason to fly that flag. Then it's based on not me being Asian and successful. It's just me being a music guy, and I love it when people don't actually know what culture I am until they meet me. So but now I think I'm ready to celebrate it. Like, I've never been this ready to, and this year is gonna be like a defining year. I've got my album coming out. I just finished Emily's album, so I'm just excited again about music.
I'm the first British Asian female to have a commercial radio show. I've been at KISS for 10 years now, so that's really something. I think #1 in London, my show, so that's great, so I'll blow my own horn there. But I think that a lot of Asians are coming through in media, which is great to see, not just reading the news, but doing different things. So we are shattering ceilings and breaking barriers and just doing our best to make our parents proud. Well, first of all, I had to try and convince my dad, which was the biggest challenge. My mum was fully behind me, which was great. But I was only hired by Asians, which I found to be quite limiting, actually, because I wanted to do commercial radio, not just Asian radio. So I learned as much as I could in Asian radio, and then I went for the big stuff. And luckily, I got my break at KISS, so I was really fortunate. But I think you've got to work really hard, and a lot of the things that our parents have taught us really come into play when you're in a competitive industry like media. I think there are a few role models. I think there definitely could be more. I mean, I personally, for me, my dream is to do television, commercial, British television, like X Factor, like Strictly Come Dancing. So I think once you see Asians coming through doing that kind of thing, then we know that that's another ceiling shattered.
London is known as the main capitals of fashion, but did you actually know that buttons were used first in the Indus Valley civilization in 2000 before Christ?
I'm a Bollywood fan, so anything with a Bollywood theme, I will lap it up.
I absolutely love Jackie Chan. I just love him so much. Yeah, right? I can't do martial arts, but one of my dreams would be to be in a film with him. And I just think he's the legend. Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Qawwali lately. Rahat Ali Khan is it's very spiritual, Sufi kind of music, and I'm not really into Bollywood like I used to be, because it's trying to be too westernized, but I still, I'm just listening out for anything, and I really want to collaborate with an Asian artist, but I just want to find the right one. Well, definitely A.R. Rahman. He's he's just up there. If I could ever, he called me last year, which is a bit weird, but hopefully if I get to collaborate with him one day, and maybe Bollywood one day, but just not like commercial Bollywood. I'm gonna do something like just under the radar, and then people hear the music first, and then they're like, oh, that was Naughty Boy, rather than the other way around. Do you know what I mean?
I would say Zayn Malik. I think he's very exciting because, he released his own track now, he went solo, and he's done really well for himself. Not everyone expected that, but I think he really showed them. Him, for example, there are lots more to mention, but Zayn is definitely one of them. But I definitely think it's a really good thing because he's representing them, and I think it's about time as well. Also, the Asian Awards, I think they should be covered a bit more in British television.
Other than being married in real life, on television, incredible. I think it's fun. You've never seen a character actually do that. Actually, none of these guys have actually dated two women, so it's really fun. Raj is enjoying it a little bit too much. You know, he's really just enjoying it a little bit too much. So we'll see. We only have 2 more episodes and we're done with the season.